Hello, I'm Charlie Collins. I teach Algebra 2 and Calculus 1. They have asked us to make a short 5-minute video for what we would do at back to school night. Now, as it turns out, I have a video that's a little bit longer that I made specifically for parents. It was aimed at parents that I have included in the Canvas classes. So something, if you're interested, something you can do is you can ask your daughter for information about that because there's a little bit longer video. As it turns out, I have a difficult time sticking to the 5 minutes. I go figure, teachers like to talk, as it turns out. So we're being asked to keep this quite short, so I'm going to do my best. And there's something that's maybe a little bit longer available on Canvas. So if you're interested, please feel free, please ask your daughters to go have a look at that. For back to school night, there are 3 things that I think parents really would like to just general areas where they would like some questions answered. One of those is to make sure their teacher can do what they're supposed to do in the classroom. Another one is to get a feel for what the classroom interaction is going to be like. And the third is to get an idea for the plan. What is the plan? So I'm going to try to do those things. And again, I'm already a minute and a half in. And so I'm going to do my best to be brief, but I already warned you I'm not very good at that. So in terms of qualifications, it's good to get that out of the way. As it turns out, I got a doctoral degree in theoretical astrophysics from MIT, and I had to do a ton of math in order to get there. So Algebra 2 and Calculus 1, those are things that I feel very comfortable with. So in terms of qualifications, I think that's what I would say about that. Much more important for the nature of the classroom interaction is this. At heart, I am really sort of a camp counselor. I worked camp for several years. I actually have gotten to run the archery activity out of Camp Mount Michael the last couple of years, and it's been wonderful. So I am really sort of a camp counselor. And what that means is that I enjoy some mischief. I like a little sass, I like a little banter, and we're going to have fun interacting in class. I like the back and forth. I like it when the students give me a little grief. I think that's wonderful, and it's my favorite part of being a teacher. So I hope that gives you at least a little bit of a feel for the way things are going to go in the classroom. Something I would add to that is you parents are always welcome to join our classes if you would like to. Again, the information to join Zoom classes is available on Canvas. Make your daughter give you that information, and you are always welcome to join. If you have any questions for me, email me. If you don't have to warn me ahead of time. If you want to come to class, just come to class. It'll be fine. Always happy to have parents. There are 2 warnings that I would issue. One is, do remember that we like a little mischief, so, just be ready for a little bit of silliness when you come to visit our class. The other warning is, I guess it's a warning in sort of a tongue-in-cheek sense, and that warning is that I'm afraid that our classes might be a little bit boring. And that I say that by way of making a segue into that third topic, which is how are we going to make the classroom work? The way I'm going to make the classroom work, or the way I'm planning to make the classroom work right now, is I'm going to do what the educational experts call a flipped classroom. The idea behind that is that you record the stuff that you would present to the students where they would just sit and listen and take notes. You record that. That way the students can have access to it. They can listen to it at their own speed. They can go back and repeat it if they want it. If they have to miss class, well, they're not really missing class because that stuff, the stuff that would be presented, has been recorded and will be available to them whenever. And then what you do after that is you use classroom time for the students to complete their work. That way, if they run into trouble or have questions, the teacher is available for them to talk to. So that, a big part of my reason for doing that, there are ins and outs of flipped classrooms. We can talk about that if you're ever interested. But my primary reason for focusing on that is that we're facing constraints. Students have to be gone a lot this semester and potentially this year. So to me, that structure is the thing that makes the most sense for the time being. What that leads to is that I am, again, a little bit afraid that our classes might be a little bit boring because a significant chunk of it is going to be the students having time to work on their work, because the lecture part, the presentation part, is taking place outside of that class time. Having said that, my experience is that students do not ask for enough help. They don't ask enough questions about the homework, and they don't ask for enough examples. So I'm trying to be aggressive about pushing some of that. So my plan is this. When it's time for math, and that's 3 times a week for every student, right? Once on Monday and Tuesday, once on Wednesday, once on Thursday and Friday. 3 times a week we have math class scheduled. And for every time math class is scheduled, I am telling my students, Zoom in. We will have everybody Zoom in, even the students who are in the room here. I'm having them connect to Zoom. That way we're kind of all on the same page. We're all on the same level, and everybody can see each other in the little windows on the Zoom conference. So we're going to connect at the beginning of class, and I am going to make them go through a few examples with me. So my plan is to start class, and your daughter should be connected every time that we have a math class meeting, whether she's at home or not. She should be connecting to math class. And we'll do some examples to get started. And I don't know how interested they'll be or how much they'll need those, but my experience is they never ask for enough examples. So I'm going to try to be a little bit aggressive about pushing some examples out, even if they don't really seem like they're calling for it. Then I am going to kind of turn them loose and let them do their work. So, honestly, I don't think it's necessarily healthy for them to be connected to Zoom all the time. And for heaven's sakes, they don't want to have the camera on while they're doing their work. Nobody wants that. That's weird, right? So we don't want to do that. So I will turn them loose after the beginning of class, but they will connect at the beginning of every class. And my hope is that once I get them started doing math, well, they'll just follow through. I mean, why not just continue doing math and get it over with? It's time for scheduled math time anyway. So even though they'll sort of be working on their own, they'll at least have been started with math. Okay. I have run long, right? Go figure. I have run long. We're half the time over. Again, you're always welcome to join our class. Please send me questions anytime anything comes up. Always glad to hear from you. And the last thing that I'll say is thank you so much. Your daughters are an absolute joy to work with. They are treasures. Each and every one of them is a treasure. So thank you very much for giving us the chance to work with them.